Hey everyone, it's Sarah the Redneck Bifocal Stitcher. Welcome to my Flosstube all about cross stitch. Today is December 18th. It is Monday. It is also my sister Lori's birthday. So big happy birthday to her. And this is episode number 6. So welcome if you are new. I'm happy to have you here. If you're a returning subscriber or, back again, thank you for coming back. I know I say that every time, but I really truly do feel that as a new floss tuber who just doesn't have the traction or the popularity, it means a lot to have people come watch this. So thank you so much if you're here. My redneck bifocals, as many of you know, stem from deep-seated denial and my need for progressive lenses, but it is what it is, and I love it. So I get a lot of looks from people, but I don't care. It is what it is. So anyway, I have quite a bit to show you today as normal. And if you follow me on Instagram and have seen the posts that I've done in the Shepherd's Bush Facebook group, you'll know that I finished all 7 stockings. I went over to Maria's house last night. She has a way better sewing machine than I do. And her machine was able to work through the top layers of all of these stockings. Once you get the liner and the piping and the front all worked out, it's kind of thick, and she just had a better machine that could work through all of those different layers and do the completing. So I'm done. Here is number 1. This is Steven Stocking. This is the stocking I made for my brother-in-law, who is an avid scuba diver. He breeds clownfish, and he just so happened to have a kidney that he was willing to share with my sister, his wife. So this is my present to him. So here it is. Stitching the piping was new for me, and I really didn't know how to go about doing it. So you can see right here, there is a gap between the piping on top and the piping on the side. I'm just going to go through. There's actually a little gap in the seam. So what I'm going to do is go through and just hand stitch and tuck it so that it will sit better like that. So anyway, this really was the stocking that I used for my learning curve, but it turned out so great. I'm absolutely enamored with how this turned out. I did use Vanna's tutorial, and I watched it. She probably had a major bump in views on that video. And I would watch the same part over and over and over again. And there were some parts where I'd be like, move your hand, I can't see. But I got it worked out. And again, my friend Maria, she really helped me comprehend all of the other aspects of stitching this and finishing it. So I'm just so happy. So there's Steven Stocking. And I had a lot of people ask, this is Scuba Duba from Raise the Roof Designs. What I did was I photocopied the pattern many times, and I cut out all of the different aspects, and then I just moved things around and made it work so that I could stitch it into a stocking in all the different layers. And again, it worked. So now that I know I can do that, I have that confirmation and the confidence. There we go. I have the confidence that I can do it. Am I going to do it again? Probably not, but I've done it and I know I can do it, and I'm just going to put that in my pocket. So anyway, here's the next one. This is Lucas's stocking. This one is for my niece's husband, and I'm happy with how this turned out. There's fuzz on the back. So I just need to run a lint roller over this. So yeah, there's just little pieces. But anyway, I'm super happy with how this turned out. Here is the liner on this. because it is, this is one of the 3 kings, I figured this lining would look really, really nice with that. And it's holding its shape, which is, of course, what I want to have happen. And there's just a little bit of puckering on the side. This was the second stocking that I stitched up. And so there are things that I was learning along the way. I got really, really good usage out of my seam ripper that came in the Black Needle Society box this year. So not only did I have something useful, it was also really pretty. Oh, it's right over here. Hold on. This seam ripper came in their Christmas nice list box. So this got a lot of use. I have to show you. It's so pretty. And to have something frustrating to do with something so pretty to do it with, that was nice. So anyway, Lucas's stocking is finito. Next up, I've got Everett's stocking, and I'm just so thrilled with how this turned out. The toe on this turned out great. And you'll notice that all of the shaping on the bottoms of these stockings are different. It really boiled down to how I was able to make everything work with my sewing machine. Again, I have kind of the base model sewing machine, and it didn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that my friend Maria's did, and hers worked so much better. We actually used hers to finish all the tops because there's a lot of layers in the top, and I just could not get everything to feed on my machine. So I went over to her house last night and she helped finish the rest of these tops. So anyway, this is Everett's. I'm just thrilled with how this one turned out, and I love it. I'm excited to send this one off, and I love his little jingle bell. What else can I say? I'm just so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to be done with these. Next is Seamus's stocking. This is for my great nephew Shay, and there is a piece of twine that is supposed to go across the front of the stocking, and I just didn't add it. I don't feel like it's missing that element. There's still so much else that's on here, so I left that off. Plus, it's one of those things where, is it going to eventually fall off? Is it going to get pulled off? And I don't know. I didn't want to risk it. So anyway, I love this lining, or I love this backer fabric, and it's there we go. I just love how this looks. This is my favorite. It really is. I love it so much. So again, his toe turned out really, really nicely. So happy. Then I have, let me show you these two. Here's Lena. There's my mom. Hold on. 17603. My mom's, where are you? That's what she does. So anyway, here's Lena Stocking. I'm super happy. The toe didn't quite turn out as curvy all the way around. But again, the whole point is knowing what it is, and you know that this is a stocking. So anyway, here's Lena's, and the lining on hers, I actually had to get a different fabric. I had to go back to the quilt shop because when I stitched this together and then started working on her lining, according to Vanna's directions, I did everything, but for some reason, I don't know why, I stitched it and it turned out too narrow for the inside. And if I had stitched it, there would have been a huge gap, and I don't know how it would have looked in the long run. So I had to go back and get a different fabric for lining, and I really, really like this. I think it's so pretty. So here's Lena's. I made it work, and this one is going to be headed to Florida. And then Sutton. Oh, here, let me show you. When I stitched Lena's, this was done on the 18 count that Shepherd's Bush used to have. And then when I picked up Sutton's stocking is done on the 20 count that they have now. And you can see that there is a difference in the size, but it's not like a huge difference. These stockings are still massive. So here's the difference. This is 18 and this is 20. And this is what's available now. They stopped making the 18 count. So anyway, here is Sutton's. I love this one. It's so sweet. And again, her toe is a little wonky, but it's just how my machine stitched it up, and it is what it is. But here's Sutton's. Here's the lining. All of the other stockings have this cream colored lining, and then the back. What's funny is her mom's stocking is not a shepherd's bush stocking. It is the first stocking that I made. So it's a Mary Englebright. So everybody's stocking that's going to be hanging up at their house is going to be shepherd's bush, except for the Mary Englebright. I think it's going to be cute. So here's Sutton. And then the last stocking that I made was Wyatt. And this is actually Sutton's big brother. Wyatt's stocking was done on the 18 count. I had a piece of that. So anyway, Wyatt's stocking is done. This is the last one that I did. And you can tell that this is the last one because I think it just turned out so great. There are a few things that I notice when I look at it from a close-up angle. But again, these are things that you won't notice unless you're a stitcher or a seamstress and know what's different. I don't want to say what's wrong because it's not wrong. It could have, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. So anyway, here's Wyatt's. I'm just so pleased with how these have all turned out. And I'm so excited. Look at this. It's a Stockingpalooza. Oh, all of these stockings. I did it. Okay. Think of a line chart where you've got time and frequency, right? And the line that's going up exponentially, that is the frequency of calls from my mom over time. So I chose to get the stockings out of the building. So they are gone and they are at the post office and they are on their way to Florida, and I couldn't be happier. So I'm super excited and I'm super happy they're gone. And of course, when I took everything over to my mom, she looked at them, and the first one she looked at, she's like, well, right here, it looks like you had something wrong with the tension on your sewing machine. And I'm like, this is what I have grown up with. So to me, it's not a shock, but I'm still surprised that after 46, almost 47 years, she has not learned that whatever. People wonder why I am the way that I am. Anyway, yeah, I told her, Mom, my sewing machine is the base model. And she's like, but it's brand new. And I'm like, yeah, but it's also the base model. So I can try to explain away, but it's not going to happen. And there it is. So anyway, they're gone. And I told her after she looked at that first stocking to say nice things after that. She's one of the types where it's like, Kate, you've said 3 negative things. Now say 3 positive things, and right quick. So anyway, let's get back to stitching because that's what you're here for, and I don't need to ramble anymore. So what did I work on while I was waiting to get the stockings finished? First off, we have Witchy Washy. This sat in my backpack for work and I just never bothered to switch it out. And I know it was because I didn't really work on it, obviously. The only thing that I did was finish the W and Washi. And I started, you can barely even see it, the clothesline itself. So that's what I've done. And this again, 32 count Hocus Pocus Fabrics by Stephanie with all the called for flosses. I also worked on the Beekeeper. This one I used for challenge stitching, and I finished the bottom of the skep, or I started to finish the bottom of the skep, but this half has been worked on. I added the flower, and then there are two little red buds down here on the side, which I just wanted to have a little pop of color so that it didn't look so monochromatic. And I love this. I love how delicate Plum Street looks when you're stitching it up. This is a 40 count Seraphim silver lining, and I'm using all the called for flosses 1/2. So there's those two. And then I also worked on Sleeping Bee for a challenge, and this one went quickly because all I did was fill in the rest of that wing on the bottom, and it's done for now. Yeah, I don't even have plans for this month because I've been so consumed with other things. So I really don't know. I feel kind of weird not having a plan, but I'll just use all of my challenge stitching, which is what I've done with all of these, and just continue to go until the end of the year, I guess. So here is Poe. I continued to work on this. I got quite a bit done up here in this Gravestone. I am stitching this on a 36 count fiber. Oh my gosh. Picture this plus Legacy. Oh my gosh. I had a moment. Sorry. 310, 2/2, 36 count, all the things. And I love this so much. And to share some nice, happy news with you, if you're as much of a reading aficionado as I am and love your books, my husband was cleaning out the garage and he found one of those black and yellow totes that they had at Costco forever ago, full of my books. And when I opened it up, I was so excited because I thought they were missing. And at the very top, the complete Shakespeare, the complete Poe, the complete Grimm fairy tales, the complete Jane Austen, all of my completes. So, such a relief to have them back. I love Poe. And I don't know, maybe I'll start reading them with Hannah, because who doesn't love a good, creepy, telltale heart at Christmas time? So there's Poe. And then, of course, this, save the best for last. Not that, oh gosh, I love this guy so much. This is Dilio Shade from Mama Witch Cross Stitch, and I call him my distinguished gentleman. Who else could you count on to turn a crocodile / alligator, I think he's an alligator, into a cute little charming, distinguished looking woodland creature with all of the flora and fauna around? Oh my gosh, it's so stinking cute. And of course, as is the case with bees, and I've told you all about bees and my correlation with my dad, I also stitch, I'm stitching this in memory of my dad, because every night before we went to bed, he would say alligator. And of course, my 4-year-old self would be terrified of the non-existent alligator under my bed. And I don't know, maybe it was his passive aggressive way of saying, stay in bed or else the alligator underneath is going to get you. Because boy, howdy, did I curl up into as much of a ball as I could to avoid even having a finger or a toe go over the side of the bed. So Dad, it worked. If that's what you thought, then more power to you. So alligator, my sister, one of my sisters has a part of an alligator tail tattooed on a huge memory piece she had done for our dad. So yeah, we all love alligators. It's super cool. So there's that. And then I want to show you my Christmas finishes, just so that I can take them back downstairs and hang them up. I ran down to grab something and they've all been staged here. And I walked down and everything looked so, the walls are stark and barren, and oh, my house looks so plain. And I don't know how people don't have art in their house. I have gone to other people's houses and they don't have things on the walls, and I don't know, it makes me sad, but it just fills me with joy. So it is what it is. There it is. So the first, this is a winter piece. This is Burr, It's Cold Outside, or Burr, It's Cold. Anyway, Burr, It's Cold Outside from Bent Creek. This is something that I finished in 2010. And I love this little guy. He's so cute. This was a quick stitch. Yes, this one was a quick stitch. I think this is about as small as it gets for me. But yeah, I love this little dude. Then I have Snow Days from Mirabilia. I finished this one in 2014. And I did it on a plain piece of fabric because, again, I do not like my patterns and colors to compete with the fabric. So there it is. And this was the second time I had used the Arctic Rays for the Snowman's hat. But this time when I stitched it up, I actually knew what I was doing and did a tent stitch. There it is up close. And I just love these colors. They're so fun. And that's a lot of white to stitch. But yeah. And I took this one to the Utah State Fair. This was the first one I submitted, and I won a blue ribbon. Then we have Sam Sarah. And I tried finding this on the internet. I tried doing one of those Google picture, and it gave me a ton of different cross stitch designs, but not this one specifically. And I don't know if this one is out of print. I do believe that Sam Sarah does not design anymore, or if she does, it's very few and far between. But this is just lyrics to Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I saw it stitched up at Shepherd's Bush. This is their conversion. I didn't use the button pack that they had. I liked it as is, so I just stitched this. This one I was 2017, and my frame got a little bit damaged on the bottom. That is my fault. But anyway, I remember stitching this on the airplane to and from New York the first time I went. So that's a fun little memory. So there's that. Then I have 'Tis the Season from Blackbird Designs. This came out of the Joyeux Noël book that I bought back in like 2013. And this I finished in 2014. I used all of the silks that went with this, the Auvera Soie. And I think it was kitted with Auvera Soie. Anyway, I used all of that. I chose the French translation, and from my point of view right here, I can see the snowflakes. They're there. They just don't show through on the video. Yeah, now you can kind of see them. It just depends on the angle. So anyway, I've got a couple of the other pieces from the Joyeux Noël book kitted up. It's just a matter of getting to them. If designers could stop designing so many pretty things and making me want to stitch all of them, that'd be great. But anyway, here's this, and I love the mat that I chose for this. It's kind of a suede, velvety mat, and it's just so luxurious, and it goes really well with this. Yeah, so there's 'Tis the Season from Blackbird. Then I have Deck the Halls from Bent Creek. Of course, this is Bent Creek. I love this. And as I was sitting here looking at it, this was done in 2010. Something that I could have easily done, but I didn't. Take out all of the berries and substitute beads for them. I think that would look really cute and have a really nice little effect on it. But anyway, yeah, 2010. I got a lot done in like 2014 and 2010. Those must have been really good Christmas years for me. So this is Holy Night from Shepherd's Bush. This is a leaflet that they have at the store. The verse says, a star shone with heavenly light, shepherds gazed with awed delight. Wise men came with hearts alight, the Christ child was born that night. I love these colors. They're so soft. And you've got, you know, just different little buttons that they included with it. You've got a shepherd and a sheep, a wise man, some stars. But I just love this piece. And I love the length that it gives. It's just a different look instead of something that's, you know, like an 8x10 or a 10x13. I just like how different this is. Next up is Santa Claus from Raise the Roof Designs. This is the first of the Clothesline series that I started stitching. And I kitted this up at Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake City. And this is on a white piece of opalescent. So it's really super sparkly. It just doesn't translate well over the camera. There are a few things that I wish that I could have changed on this prior, but just things that don't really matter. Things I notice, but nobody else does. You know how we are. We're our own worst critic. So anyway, all of the little buttons and everything. And I ran out of one color of floss, and I'm sure you can see it from this point of view. If you can, I'm not going to point it out. More power to you. But anyway, I love this little guy. It's super fun. This was super fun. And all of the other ones, they're great. Next up is Christmas Row from Bent Creek. And yeah, I think this is one that I also kitted up at Craft Center. This was stitched in 2010. And oh, I love it so much. Sorry for all the wonky reflections. So anyway, all the buttons that came with the little kit, and you don't have to stitch them with the buttons. It's just kind of a little added bonus. And I thought these were cute. I love the popcorn buttons. So there is Christmas Row. And then I have, gosh, is it Winter Row or Snowman Row? Hanging upstairs or hanging up downstairs, but I don't have a ladder tall enough to take it down. So I'll just show you that one the next time we're together. And then the last one is Christmas Rules from Lizzy Kate. Oh, I love this one so much. And I don't have a date on it, unless I hid it somewhere, which I did for a while. Anyway, yeah, Christmas Rules, Lizzy Kate. These are the ones that come in sets of 2. You get 2 designs on a leaflet, and then there's like 6 leaflets, 5 or 6 leaflets. And they come with little buttons. I got the additional Jabco buttons from Shepherd's Bush. And then once you stitch all of these, you can get this free topper on the Lizzy Kate website and make it just one big cohesive piece. I love this. I love the size. It's super cute. It's a lot of stitching, but it goes really quickly when it's words. Some of you know what I mean. Anyway, so there's all of my Christmas stitching. And then there are 2 other things that I wanted to show you really quickly. One of them has to do with my 2024 plans, which at this point, nothing is locked in for sure. I have purchased a few of the different Naptime Stitcher digital printables, and have been putting them into my Happy Planner. I love a disc bound. I am not a fan of digital planners. I have to write things down, and even if I'm writing it in digital form, I don't know what it is. It does not sink in. So I love a good paper planner. So here is one of the Naptime Stitchers templates. This one is a whip tracker. You do the pattern and the designer. If it's in a series, what number in the series it is, the location, and right now you'll notice I am in a different setting. I am in the process of moving everything downstairs from the piano room / room of creativity up to Rachel's old bedroom, where it'll be easier to function with crafting and everything. The downstairs room is more of an office with a closet, and it's really supposed to be, if my mom ever needs to move in for round the clock care, she'll be in that room because it's ground floor and everything. So yeah, so we're moving all of the craft room stuff upstairs, and it's great. I can move things around more easily, and it flows better. So that doesn't matter to you. So yeah, I'm relocating things, and I'm going to make it more organized. And then of course you've got your start and finish column on this other side. She also just recently released some 24 and 24 templates. One is for 24 whips, one is for 24 projects, one is for 24 starts, and one is for 24 finishes. So I am kind of reprioritizing some of the things that I've wanted to start, and I'm rethinking some of the pieces that I've kitted up. Like there are a couple mirrors that I'm thinking, I really wanted to do them at the time, but my children have grown up and I don't think that this is something that they would be interested in. And while I would love to stitch X design, I don't know if I would keep it after I stitched it. So yeah, it's just one of those, am I going to, or am I not? So reprioritization is really kind of on my mind. So I am doing Whip Warriors, and I am continuing with fandom stitching. Next year is Disney themed. It doesn't mean that we have to do Disney things. It's just all of our prompts are based off of Disney things. We're doing all of the animated movies. So for example, Cinderella, that's one of the first Disney animated movies. So it's early in the year. So a prompt would be Cinderella's pumpkin was turned into a carriage, stitch on a project with a pumpkin. The clock struck midnight, stitch on something with a clock. She lost her glass slipper, stitch on something with a shoe. You know, things like that. So it doesn't have to be Disney based, which I think gets lost on a lot of people. Well, I don't like Disney, so I'm not going to do it. Well, okay, it's just a way to be fun and find new ways to think around figuring things out for whips, but whatever. I have fun. I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, so those are my plans. I'll probably have something more concrete the next time we meet. I take this to work and I look at it a lot and just think about how I can work things out, and it's coming. And plus it's not like I have to have a plan. I'm still trying to adopt that mind frame of go with the flow. And on a little tangent, because who doesn't love a good tangent, my word of the year, which actually turned into like 3 years in a row while I was in school and trying to get things done on that side of things, was focus. And I'm switching up my F word. And so my new F word for the year is going to be fluid. And I want to be more flexible and have that mentality of go with the flow. Water fits into crevices. Water can bend and, do things. And you know what I'm saying. I know you do. But yeah, I want to adopt more fluid type properties and be flexible. So anyway, and then I do want to share one last little thing with you. And this is my once a year. So at the table that I have by the couch, this is my Ort jar that I use on a yearly basis. It says ashes of obnoxious teenagers. And so all of my Orts are in here. These are my Orts from 2023. Summer Sparkly. Look at this thing. So I like the idea of putting these into an ornament, but I don't want to. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I remember I put mine out once, and then I read this was way back when this was a new concept, and I read that putting your orts out for birds is really not safe for them. So I was like, oh, that's not a good idea. So I stopped doing it after only one time. But so what I did was I just held on to them. I don't want to put them into a ball and hang it on my tree because I don't know, it's not my style. So I have another jar over here, and I opened it so you didn't have to listen to all the clanking, but it is my Deadly Nightshade jar. And while I've got this ort pile over here, I will show you. I'm getting little flosses everywhere. I don't know how many years worth of orts this is, and some just fell off into the thing again. I don't know, this is maybe 3 or 4 years, but yeah, I've just got this huge conglomerate of floss. You know what? I should start stuffing these into pillows. Maybe that's what I'll do after this is chock full and I need to start all over again. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll use this as stuffing for pillows. So there it is. There's my however many years long orts, and let's add my next pile in here. So there it is. And then I get to start new. Empty ort jar. So yeah, that being said, that's all I have for you. It's time for me to start getting ready for work and go hang out with my family before I go. So as your OR nurse, let me tell you, let's keep wearing our seatbelts because they save lives. Don't drink and drive. And if you so feel inclined to fight with your family, please don't bring guns or knives to your fights. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have for now. So I hope you have a great day stitching, and I will see you later.